Good day, everybody. It is Calxiyn here, and thank you for attending Calxyn's Royal Court today, where we are here and gathered to discuss ODDTAXI episode 13. And I just can't believe it. Like, I can't believe we're at the end. I can't wait to see how they wrap all of this up. Like, I cannot believe that we are finishing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe it. Like, how are they gonna do all this? How are they going to tie everything neatly in a bow? Or maybe they won't. Like, who knows what's gonna happen, right? And so I'm so excited. I just want to say, though, before we get started, like, thank you to everybody that has supported these videos all the way through, whether you've kind of just like watched and lurked, if you've commented on all of the videos or some of the videos, if you've been a patron through all of this. And I will say though that my full watch-alongs are still going to be up on Patreon, so if you want to see my full-length watch-along reaction, that will be up on Patreon for this episode and then all previous episodes as well. Thank you to everybody again that supported on Patreon, that has just viewed, that has left comments. This has been a very big project for me, a very fulfilling project. Oh, and then anybody that's left like a tip on the Calxiyn.com website. Like, usually people send in tips while I'm Twitch streaming, but every once in a while somebody's like, hey, I just wanted to send a tip, you know, because you're doing like ODDTAXI or you're doing Hell of a Boss, and I just wanted to support you, and that makes me very emotional. So yes, thank you for all of that, and without further ado, let's just go. Let's just get right into it. Oh no! Oh damn, okay. Well, is that why he sees everyone as animals now, like to cope? So he doesn't need to be scared of them anymore. Oh. See, we see them as human. I wonder if we'll see everyone as human. Oh, and that's why now he sees himself as a walrus. Damn, they were not good parents then. Damn, jeez. Oh, that's a lot like the gotcha guy and the bird encyclopedia. Oh. Damn, bro. Jesus Christ. Damn, so instead of spending time together, the dad just drops him at the zoo all day. Oh, he'd rather stay at the zoo. Oh no! So the Homo sapiens lost! They lost this too? Damn. Well, oh. Are you actually gonna do it? Damn. Are they really gonna split up? Is that how their story's gonna end? Oh, see? Oh. Everybody's dreams are crashing down. Oh. But she killed somebody though! Sakura still. Oh. Damn. Uh-oh. But whatever it takes though, that's not good. Oh, come on, don't say that. And Tachi? And the Christmas music here too? Like, what is this? Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, shit! Well, no, he has to stop! Or else he's gonna die again! Well, not again, but it can't end like that! But, well, he got out once! Oh, the money! But he can't die right now! There's so much that's not resolved yet! Oh, the gotcha guy too! Oh. Oh, everything coming together like this. It's like the dead body falling and the ring falling and all of their dreams Oh, shit, man. What the fuck? Bro! But Odokawa has to get out. Or else he'll die. He got out once, he can get out again. Oh. I wonder if the mom killed the dad then, like I had thought before. Oh. Because his dream had come true, in a way. Oh, so he was happy. Oh. What? That must be the boss. Oh. 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 Come on, Odokawa. The seatbelt, Odokawa. Miho. Oh my god. She got into the water, sis? No, but she can't. There's no way she can do that. Okay. Is Odokawa really gonna die? But Miho got to get him. No, he's okay. He's okay. But it's gone. Oh, he sees them like they are. Shit. Oh, a cute girl. You know what? I didn't really like Miho before, but, you know, she saved his life. So, like, oh, is that Dobu? Dobu's alive? I thought he was dead for sure. Damn. So they did switch. Shoot you again. Yeah, because he was the one who did it the first time. Yeah. Damn. Damn. But how's Odokawa gonna feel, though? Oh, no! Rui! Oh, no! Damn, but seeing her now? Damn, seeing all of them now? Damn, that's the end of Mystery Kiss. Oh, did he remember what happened that night? Oh. Did she read maybe his journal? Uh-oh. Oh! It's Imai! I thought it was gonna be the ball. Look at Imai! Oh my god, I can't believe this! Hey, did you get your money? Like, bro, did you get your money, sir? Oh my god! Oh! Imai, just put it in your college fund, okay? You know what I mean? That is true. Damn! I like that, though. Yeah, you tell him. Oh. Oh, what? You're just gonna leave this? Oh, damn. Oh, Imai. Oh, see, he knows something. It was Sakura. Damn, it's just a cat, bro. There was no dead person, so it's just a cat. It just be like that. So, wait a minute, we're already at 21 minutes. How do we know if everything's gonna be okay? Oh, look at her, all the bar lady. Like, how do we know if everything went okay? Like, how do we know if Sakura got arrested? Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn. They took the fall, but he helped a lot of people. See, Odokawa's finding it out. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, see, the boss knows. Yeah, what's the rule? Damn. Well, none of them did that. Oh. See, so Odokawa got to pay it back to him no matter what. See, the boss wasn't a bad guy, though. Oh, little kitty cat. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, gosh. Even he didn't know. Wait, you can't end things like this. There's been no resolution. Like, you know what I mean? Wait. Whoa. So I guess it got revealed that Baba was dating Rui. Oh, damn. Maybe this was before the giraffe got it back. Then she threatened him. Because she had the pen. So she did do it. Well, sis, when is she gonna get arrested? Oh, okay, so the comedians are still doing their thing. Oh, is that the gotcha guy? Oh, he decided that life was worth living. That's good. Oh, that's Tachi. Kakihana. Well, at least he's paying off his debt. Oh, but that's nice he has friends. Dobu, meanwhile. Jeez. Oh, shit. Oh, good. Take her right to the police station, sis. Nowhere. I'm just here to kill you, sis. Oh, my God. Bro, everything came full. Wait, no, it can't end like this. Okay, the audio drama is 9 minutes. So I do have some, I don't want to say hope, but like, did Sakura ever get arrested, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Did Rui ever get cleared of being the murderer? Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, everyone is just here. What is happening? This must be the bar, right? Right? Okay. Bosom buddies, oh man. Oh, damn. Oh, wait, so everyone's here at the bar, it seems like. I need the script. Hold on. I'm gonna find the transcript. Damn. Okay, so that's Kikihana. Yeah, that's... Okay, that's the comedian. I knew that. Okay, so that's why they're all here. Okay. Right. Well, that's good. Odokawa's matured. Oh, Tachi's there, too. Damn, yeah. Tachi's been, on the internet. Odokawa and, Shibagaki seem like they'd make a good comedy duo, too. Damn. Oh, so everyone's apologizing. So Tachi's apologizing. I guess, wait, not Kikihana. Oh, wait. The comedians were apologizing. So Odokawa's gonna give a speech? Okay. I love how they all, like, gathered here, because I guess he improved all of their lives to a degree, you know? Damn. Oh, this is so nice. Oh, yeah, because it's New Year's. It's Christmas, right? So they're all together at the bar for New Year's. Oh, that's great. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, okay, so he's still alive. The student's still alive. That's good for now. He's alive. Oh, he was there too. Well, yeah, Odokawa was kind of like famous, right? Right. Yes. Oh, but who was the owner? Oh, but who was it in the first place? Yeah, we thought that was the bar lady. Right? Wait, the bar lady planted it? She did it? Wait, what? Yeah, because that was the name of the bar. But she did it? Why? For the gossip? Because she likes to gossip, right? Because we knew that from the very first episode, because that was the name of the bar. So she was listening. But wait, does that mean that she knows that Sakura did the murder too? Wait. So she was suspicious of Odokawa? So she planted the pen? Oh, damn. So she spread it around, but she didn't know. Oh, gosh. Well, she's not. We know she's not. Come on, Odokawa. When is Odokawa gonna tell the police, bro? Oh, so she was talking to Odokawa, so she planted it for Odokawa? Like, to know if he did it or not, I guess, and then it just got around, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is at the door, bro? Did someone just whack her? Oh, that's Sakura! Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. But she's not arrested. But wait, if he's uploading it, that means they have evidence at least. I need to lie down. I need to think about this. I don't know how I feel about this just because, she never got arrested. All right, everybody, let us get into the Odd Taxi review. Oh my god, I definitely want to do, like, a video essay, I think, on this show, because I feel like that even this last analysis will not do the entire show justice, if that makes sense, right? Because I feel like that we are going to be talking about things very much like in the context of previous episodes as well, but like this is just like the episode 13 experience, if that makes sense, right? Like I feel like that it would be nice to do like a proper video essay going through like beginning to end, because this will really just focus on like, I'll bring up the context of the previous episodes in addition, or like to contextualize what I'm saying about this one, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like we need a video essay. What do you guys think? Anyway, so to start with, we have Odokawa's diary right here. When I grow up, I want to work at the zoo. That's because I don't like humans. Being around humans makes me anxious, right? So this is child Odokawa. I'm always told to look people in the eye when I talk to them, but I'm too scared to do it, right? So it seems like even from the very beginning, Odokawa had some like social anxiety, right? At least that's how I would say, right? And I think that it's so interesting how that tied into like how he saw the world. It's almost like a coping mechanism, right? It was just like both of his parents died. He's now like scared and alone, but in order to alleviate some of the fear, his brain thought of this coping mechanism in order to basically function in society without his parents, you could say. Like, you know what I mean? Like something kind of akin to that, right? And so yes, we get more of the diary sequence, but what was amazing about this is seeing like humans right before we actually see, because in this episode we see humans, right? But like to see like the outline of humans, like you know where it's going, right? And I love that. I'm not good at school or sports, so my teachers won't help me. And see, what's interesting about this mentality is this not what the gotcha guy was saying about his life? You know, like, I'm not good at sports, I'm not good at art, I'm not popular, so all I have is my erasers, right? Like, it's almost like in these scenes, they're kind of establishing the fact that Odokawa had a very similar life to the gotcha guy. Almost like Odokawa could have easily became the gotcha guy, like, in another life. And so that's something to keep in mind when having, I guess, empathy for him in, I guess, based off of the events of last episode, and then like we see him go back to work in normal life, and some people may be like, bro, like he shot Dobu, like he doesn't go to jail, right? But like I think that what they're trying to point out is like the gotcha guy, yes, he did some bad things, right? But ultimately, the only person he shot was Dobu, right? He didn't kill Odokawa or anybody. And so I feel like that, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he should have been let off the hook, but I feel like that what the show is trying to say is that he was a victim, basically. He was a victim and then he went out to victimize, but luckily he was stopped. And Odokawa could have turned into the same kind of person the gotcha guy is, you know? And so like if we have empathy for Odokawa, we should equally have empathy for the gotcha guy, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because they had a very similar childhood in a sense, right? And so he explains, when I cry out loud, my classmates laugh at me. They say I'm like a walrus and laugh at me, right? And so that's kind of like a blubbering walrus, like it's kind of a how do you say it? Not an analogy. It's like, you know, you're blubbering like a walrus. Like it's like a turn of phrase, I guess, associated with the animal. I wish I were a walrus instead. And so now that's why Odokawa sees himself as a walrus, right? My mom is the same way. Since dad never comes home, she's always annoyed and takes it out on me. And so again, right, like we see his childhood and his, you know, his experience, and it's a lot similar to, I guess what, again, the gotcha guy experienced in a lot of ways when you think about it, right? Because like he also experienced abuse, and there's a more prevalent line of that later when it's like, oh well, my dad bought me this, so I guess I like him all right. Like that's like the gotcha guy being like, well, my dad bought me the book on birds, so I guess it's okay, right? And so obviously Odokawa experiences abuse from the mom, kind of like how it's the reverse for the gotcha guy who experienced abuse from his dad, but more complacency from the mom. In this case, it's complacency from the dad and abuse from the mom. So it's like the reverse situation almost, right? Unlike at school, I don't cry at home. That's because my mom cries, right? And so I thought that was so sad. It's like my mom cries enough for the both of us. Like that was so sad. My dad is never home because he has a mistress, right? So that was a random thing to kind of throw in, right? You know what I mean? Because we don't really have any other characters. Because I feel like that the point with Odokawa was kind of making him like there's a piece of him that's related to almost every other character in a way, but you could say that the mistress thing is kind of like, I don't know, like the deceit with Kikihana and like Shiho or so. I don't know. That may be like a little bit of a stretch. I don't think that it's supposed to, I don't know if it's supposed to tie to every single character, but I could see like the mistress thing being like kind of a rough connection to a couple other things in the show, right? When he does come home, he gets blind drunk, right? That's dad, but he bought me an animal encyclopedia, so I like him okay. So see, that's the same as like with the gotcha guy getting him the bird, right? And he never got tired looking at the bird book, just like Odokawa never gets tired looking at the animal book, right? So I feel like that there's a lot of parallels there. And he also likes cars. I thought it would be okay to get a job driving cars when I grow up, right? And so these days, mom doesn't ride with us because dad is going to see the mistress, right? And so basically, Odokawa gets left at the zoo while his dad is like canoodling, right? And doing his affair activities, I guess. I feel bad for my mom, but I loved my time at the zoo. And so this is like really creepy. I don't know why they decided to do it this way, but like, I guess it's just to showcase maybe Odokawa doesn't remember how he looked in his childhood, right? That sort of thing, and he doesn't really remember a lot from it, so he can't even like see himself and like his appearance. I couldn't speak to people, but I could talk to animals. I saw a walrus. They make funny sounds and they're fat just like me, right? I thought they looked like my mom too. When I think about returning to reality with all its humans, I'd rather stay here forever. So when you think about it, Odokawa basically made the world his own zoo, right? So he could interact with people and cope. And so then we have like the car chase thing. There isn't really a lot to say about like the actual chase scene. It's more about like the words, right? That's why on the day of the accident, I ... And right, obviously, I think that what he's trying to say there, the day of the accident, that's why my world changed for me, because I had already lost everything and been through all this trauma, and my brain kind of like changed so I could cope with the rest of the world in a sense, right? Anyway, so the Homo sapiens do not get in, which is kind of sad, but like apparently they just yelled at each other or something. And so yes, now they're talking about Don Roku stepping down from the panel because his daughter died, obviously, makes sense, right? And so then we see the car chase, so it's like, ma'am, can we change the channel? The channel changes, and it's the car chase, right? And so it's good that Miho actually did go with Goriki, right? Miho definitely got the redemption. You know, like, I think that it's gonna be interesting to actually see what comments you guys left about like my opinion of Miho, because I was definitely harsh at a lot of points. I was definitely like, she's a liar. How can she love Odokawa? That is not a face that says love. Like, I was definitely really hard on her, and I still stand by that, okay? If they were trying to make it seem like she genuinely loved him, that was not, you know what I mean? That was not really all of that convincing in my opinion. But, right, granted, despite everything, despite the past, she did care about him enough to like rescue him, okay? So like, she has, I think, gotten her own redemption as well. Anyway, so then we see the Homo sapiens, right? The high school listener was waiting for me to come outside. He asked me to team up with him. He must be disappointed after watching that loser's bracket. All we did was scream insults at each other, right? And so then they talk about like if they really want to split up, and then Baba's like, well, you're the one who said that we should split up, right? He's still trying to go with the flow. He doesn't necessarily want to decide, right? He's just like, well, you said that we should split up, so we should, right? Like he's just, you know, riding the wave, whatever happens, happens type of thing. But see, I think that the difference is this is the first time that he is admitting, right? That he is admitting that this is his fault. You know what I mean? Like all the other times it's been about Baba, you know, you aren't committed enough, you aren't this enough, you aren't that. But he's saying, I forgot our jokes. I regret like what has happened here. It's the first time that he's fucked up, right? And I think that this is acknowledging that he has fucked up. And so next year should be our last year, because I'm actually like introspecting and seeing the problems with myself that you were trying to point out to me all along. Like, I feel like that that's the resolution to their little arc here, is that the problem with him is that he never realized, I guess, like his own weaknesses. You know, he was blaming everyone else. Well, it's because of Baba. Baba does this, Baba does that. It's because of the audience. They don't appreciate my comedy. Like, he's finally realizing that maybe part of the problem was him, right? I'll write funnier jokes, right? Like he's saying, I know my jokes aren't funny now, right? And so I feel like that was really good for him to basically admit like his, not wrongdoing per se, like it's not that serious, but obviously to admit his faults, right? And so then we have Rui on the bridge here. We should get our story straight. Shouldn't we just tell them the truth? The truth? Do you understand what we did, right? And so it seems like that the guilt is very much weighing on Rui. I do wonder if she was going to unalive herself on the bridge. Or, I guess she's not on a bridge, though. She's just at the harbor, right? So maybe she's looking at the water and, like, thinking about what she did and feeling guilty. The gotcha guy, definitely, that was the implication with him. Then we also have Shiho, right? And so this was kind of random to have Shiho stuff all of a sudden, but we see, like, her backstory a little bit, right? Not backstory per se, we already knew this, but just like that she is thinking about, I guess, how her dreams are being dashed, right? Because her dream was to be super rich, now the band is scandalized, right? So it seems like everybody's basically just thinking about their dreams and regrets, right? And that's why it's like panning across to everyone. We also have Sakura right here, right? And so she's thinking about like her mom and everything. Have you eaten dinner yet? And then she says, no, but you must be tired, so I'll find something, don't worry. And the mom says, no, you need lunch for tomorrow, so I'll just make dinner while I'm at it. I don't have fried chicken though. And she says, thanks, Mom. And so this is, I guess, like our drop of Sakura's like whole motivation, right? As someone whose dreams were shattered, you look radiant to me. So the kind of the implication, I guess, is that the mom, you know, had dreams once, but her dreams never came true. And so now to see her daughter so full of potential, right? Like it makes her happy to see that her daughter could get a chance. And I think that like, I don't know how much they're gonna really explore this. Some people have been talking about an OVA, but I think that they are going to leave it open-ended. I could see this as kind of a toxic relationship. Not that the mom's abusive per se, but that she kind of put the pressure to live vicariously through her daughter, to want her daughter to succeed that much, and that's what led Sakura down kind of like a dark path, right? You only get one go around in life, you gotta do whatever it takes to make your dreams come true. Like, it's not the mom's fault that she saw whatever it takes as like murdering people. Like, that's not her fault. But I do wonder, you know, how much pressure she felt to kind of make her mom happy and everything. And like in an OVA, they could definitely talk about that. Then we have Kikihana. He's thinking about his dreams, how his dreams have dashed, right? We also have the gotcha guy, right? I have nothing left. It's game over. We have the same with Tachi over here, right? It seems like he made a second account, even though Dobu told him not to. He started from scratch, right? And so this was like very toned death, you know what I mean? Because he's like, I'm shocked to learn that Don Ranku's daughter is dead, the mystery kiss girl, and I feel bad for them, but how I'm gonna support myself from now on is the bigger, more serious mystery. And I'm like, way to make everything about yourself, Tachi. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's flame bait or something. Imagine being like, oh yeah, so-and-so's dead, well, what about my life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, ever the narcissist with him, you know? Anyway, so they go past the road closed sign, which is not good. And so then we have the diagnosis. So it's not synesthesia per se, unless this is like the fancy way to say synesthesia, right? So they say it's like basically like visual, I don't know what that word means exactly, caused by executive dysfunction, right? He doesn't know what his eyes are looking at. Damage to his brain is causing an error in the cognitive function, right? I would say too that it's like in terms of like, I guess the metaphor of the show, Odokawa was already like not functioning, if that makes sense, like in terms of socially, right? He had all of this anxiety and stuff, and so his brain kind of did that as like a coping mechanism for his anxiety and everything, right? So then we see the car chase over here, and I think that what happened, it's not that Odokawa wanted to go off the side. He was about to stop, but then he got a vision of what happened like that day to his parents. And I think that that basically put him in a shock and distracted him so much that he could not hit the brakes, basically. Like, basically, like, as he was driving, he got a hit of that traumatic memory and he flew off the side, right? Like, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think that he basically, like, that this situation was a trigger for him, like for his PTSD, right, of that situation. And so then by the time he realized, it was like too late. And there's something oddly like majestic about this scene. Like, Odokawa is flying over the edge. All of the money is like coming out of the car, right? All of Imai's hopes and dreams. Like, I know they recovered the money, but still, like, it's almost like the taxi the taxi diving into the water is almost like a representation of like everybody's like dreams being dashed, their regrets in life. You know, like, especially like Tachi's like, oh, this will go viral, but I don't know if he hits the button in time. So that's like, you know, a metaphor for him maybe. And then we have the gotcha guy seeing his phone falling into the water. We have Kikihana seeing the engagement ring. That was so smart. The engagement ring callback. Oh my God, that made me so happy. We see Sakura thinking about her mom making dinner. So that's not a regret. Sakura seems to be the only one having a happy memory as this is happening. Everyone else is thinking about all their regrets, right? Or I guess even like, well, I guess you could say that Shiho's memory of the bath isn't necessarily unhappy because that's the place where she's happiest, but it's almost like that she's thinking that's the only time that I could ever be alone, and now I may never be rich enough to get my own space, basically, is what she may be thinking with that. And obviously for Rui, it's the dead body. And then with the comedians, it's like, seriously, I'm being interrupted by a car. So I kind of liked how they played a part in all of that. You know what I mean? Like their part in the scene, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's like everybody's dreams and their hopes and everything are like the car falling into the water, you know? Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't even think it's their dreams. I don't even think it's their regrets. I think that it's supposed to actually represent when things changed for them. That makes a lot more sense. That's why Sakura has a happy memory. It's not about regrets. It's about when life changed, when they became different people. Like for Odokawa, falling into the water once changed him to have like this condition where he sees everyone as animals. Falling into it again changes him to see everyone as human. But think about everybody else's falling in the water moment. Like for the gotcha guy, that was his villain origin story, right? For Tachi, going viral was what caused like all the problems in his life. You know, for Imai, technically winning the lottery, you know, was the thing that went wrong in a lot of ways. With Rui, it was the body, like dumping the body, choosing to dump the body instead of tell the police. With Shiho, it was the bath, right? Because like the only time I got to be alone was in the bath, and so now I'm connected to this idea of being super rich and having a giant bathtub. Like the bath is like kind of a manifestation of like her wanting to escape poverty, right? And so that's when like her life really changed and her resolve changed, right? Was because of the bath. With Sakura, it was her mom making dinner because she realized how hard her mom struggles. After a full day of work, she still cooks for her, and so she really has to make her mom proud. That's what it is. It's when everybody's life changed, right? The pivotal moment that caused them to be the people they are today, not their regrets, right? With Kikihana, you would think it was meeting Shiho, but it wasn't. It was like the engagement ring. It was everything he did. It was becoming a fraud, and throwing the ring away is when he resolved to be a new person, a better person, right? And so it goes both ways. Some people changed for the worse, but some people like Kikihana, you could say, changed for the better after the engagement ring thing happened, right? That's what it is. Okay, that's why on the day of the accident, I remember being happy, right? My mom put my plastered dad in the car and took us for a drive. See, and not interesting per se, but the interesting thing about this is it's left very much ambiguous what exactly occurred here, right? Because you could say that, like, oh, well, the dad was just drunk and the mom took it as an opportunity, right? To basically, unalive the whole family, which again, I still think is like, what the fuck was, but you could also say that what happened, and this makes logically a lot more sense to me, not that people that want to commit an act like this are thinking logically, but would it not make more sense? Because the dad is covered here. I don't know if they just didn't want to draw him, but his, he's covered with a jacket. What would make more sense to me is that the dad came home plastered, the mom had enough, the mom killed him, and then she was like, oh shit, I killed my husband, my life is going to end, right? Because I'm also assuming that the mom didn't have a job as well. Like, it seems to be implied that she was a stay-at-home mom. At least we didn't hear anything about that. Like, it seemed like that the dad at least, went to work and stuff. So you could think of it as, like, that she was just putting up with the dad and his mistress because she needed to take care of her and her son. But one day she snapped. She accidentally killed the dad, and she was like, oh shit, like, the life that we know is over. I've committed a crime. I'm gonna go to prison. My life is over, right? All of our lives are over. And so she decided to do this. I think that makes a lot more sense, that she killed the dad at home, whether intentionally or accidentally, and then she decided, well, fuck it, I don't want to go to jail, and so she decided to do this. Instead of, like, the dad happening to just be drunk, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that it could have been a little more intentional. Because you could also argue that she just took the opportunity with the dad being drunk and that she wanted, like, to do this, right? But I think that, he's been drunk many a time. Why now? Could it be because she actually did something to him, right? And that's why his head is covered as well. Could she have drugged him, right? There's a lot of questions for that, right? And so I feel like that is very fascinating. And what if, think about this, what if the mom was expecting to survive, right? That she was basically going to stage this, but for some reason she did not get out, right? So it wasn't, because they said it was a double S word, but it may not have been a double S word, like it was suspected to be. But what if the plan was to basically stage all of this to be like, whoops, like, my husband died. Like, isn't that crazy? We got into an accident and he died. Oops. Like, basically to get rid of him, get like his life insurance or something, and then have the money without him or needing to stay with him, right? That type of thing. And so what if that was her plan? Because she also has a very stoic kind of expression. Like, she's not crying or anything, she doesn't seem manic. It seems very calculated, right? She's in a bad mood, but I don't know. So I feel like that could be it. I feel like that maybe she did it on purpose and she planned to get herself out, but something went wrong. Because we even see with Odokawa, once the water fills up, he has a hard time getting out. And so what if Odokawa somehow got out because the door was already kind of open because of the air pressure, right, in the water and everything. He was locked in. But what if that was the thing is that the mom didn't escape in time, and so she also died, but she didn't plan to die. She actually planned to kill the dad and escape with her son. I don't know. We have absolutely no context for this, right? But that's sort of what I'm thinking, right? I feel like that would be very interesting if she basically planned, and you don't even see a seatbelt on her, right? I think maybe you do. Maybe under her arm right here you could, but I don't know. What if she wasn't planning You know, what if she was planning to get out, right? And is her window open? It's hard to tell. I think his window's closed, but her window, I don't know, maybe it's open right here. I'll show you guys. You guys can decide. Does that look open to you, like compared to what Odokawa? Because this is obviously like the windows are closed, but hers looks open. So I wonder if she was planning to get out, basically, right? She didn't even need to like open the car door, right? She just needed to swim out the window, but for some reason, maybe she got stuck. Maybe her seatbelt got stuck, right? Like, who knows, right? Anyway, all I remember is my mom and dad went somewhere after the accident, right? And so this is, again, I feel like a trauma response, basically like putting a shield in between yourself and the truth, right? But he didn't really, you know, he wasn't really paying attention because he was like, I'm a walrus, like, you know, finally, like everything is like how I want it to be, like everything is like the zoo, right? So he's happier this way, right? Everyone said they felt sorry for me, but I was better off than I was before. One day, a tape bar showed up and said he'd look after me. So obviously, right, this is the boss, and so I'm so glad that I called that, right? When the boss was asking him about, like, you know, oh, do you have enough money, Odokawa, right? Like, all of that sort of stuff, like, that was so good. That was such a good foreshadowing that's why the boss wanted all this money, right? Like, he was a Yakuza, basically, to, like, help the kids. Oh, that's so, like, it's almost funny, right? It's almost funny. He wanted to do crime for the kids. But Odokawa was, like, taking down the person that tried to help him, you know, like, in a weird way. But then he gave him some money, so, you know, I guess he didn't take down the whole crime syndicate, just the ones that did the bads, right? And the boss seemed to be happy, too. He was like, oh, yeah, well, my men were involved, like, talking about pulling the cart before the horse type of thing, right? And so it seemed like that maybe, like, he was, I don't know, maybe he's like, oh, yeah, that is, Yano deserves it, is basically what I'm saying. I wanted to go thank him properly one day. See, and so that's why it's kind of ironic, like, the fact that he basically, like, took down the boss's, like, organization, because that is the very organization that helped him at the same time, right? It seemed like that the boss was probably gonna get rid of Yano and stuff anyway. And so, yes, Miho goes to save him. Very awesome, very cool, right? And so then, when he wakes up, we actually see that he's normal, he's human, everybody's human. It's so crazy, too. And I love how, like, they put in elements of the designs, I guess, in why they were that animal, right? Like, you can kind of see, or I guess not why they were that animal specifically, but, like, I guess they took, like, parts of the animal traits with, like, the human designs, right? Like, for Gariki, he has, like, a very, like, you know, pointy kind of beard, very thick eyebrows, like mega thick eyebrows, right? And with her, she has like the sweater and also like the scarf, right? So she wears sweater and wool all the time. That's why she was the alpaca type of thing, right? And so, yeah, kind of makes sense now, like why he saw everyone. A human, does that scare you? No, I'm not scared, I'm okay. And so it's like, oh no, she's pretty, right? Looks like he still can't talk to women, and they both laugh. See, even with Dobu, right, like Dobu's hair, again, very like angular, if that makes sense. I don't know, I understand it completely now. Or like, you know, even this guy, like, it's just amazing how you just see like why they were that animal, I guess, right? And I like how they finally did pull the switcheroo, but it was like not as important as I thought it was gonna be. Like, I had this big theory that the switcheroo was gonna be like the crux of the murder. It was not, right? And so, yeah, I don't think you're going anywhere, Dobu. Then I'll shoot you again, right? So this is when it's revealed that Little Daimon's the one that did it, and I get bragging rights because I called it. Thank you. Anyway, you know what will happen if I get arrested? Your brother will go down too. That's right. After all, what my brother did was bad. Crime should be punished. Evil can never be destroyed completely, but I'll keep maintaining the peace. After all, I'm a police officer, right? So he's basically saying, I know that my brother will go down, but he has to pay for his crime too. So then we have Miho taking care of Odokawa. It's all very cute, not very important until we hear that Rui has been arrested. That part's important, right? And so they basically seem to have found out that she was involved, suspected of dumping the body in the sea, right? And so that's the thing, is like, you know, why her? Did she confess? Did somebody else rat her out? Like, we don't even know, right? Did Sakura call in and say, hey, I think that Rui's involved, like anonymous tip, right? And so then we actually see Rui for the first time too, and we see like, again, like her hair was like this. That's why she kind of had like the whole poodle thing, right? And so yeah, Yamamoto got arrested. Yano got arrested. This guy got arrested, right? And so then we get to see all their human designs too, and I really liked that. Like, I liked seeing how everybody looked. I thought that was really, really great. So yeah, they all got arrested for their part, I guess. Rui is denying the charges, and then Odokawa remembers, oh yeah, I gotta tell the police something, right? Like, oh damn, like I gotta tell the police about that thing that I know, right? The TV reminds him. Then Imai also reminds him, and look at Imai! Oh, Imai's so cute. Okay, anyway, so yeah, Imai was just perfect, and so he basically just dumps a bunch of money on his bed in a minute. So here's what's interesting. It came as a huge shock, and if she really did do it, that would be a terrible thing. But when I think about it, getting to visit an idol in prison is a precious experience. And see, what's funny is I don't want to say he didn't care, but it did seem like that he was going to like fall out of the illusion, you know, like take off the rose-colored glasses. Like when he was in the warehouse, he was like, mystery kiss, nothing matters anymore. Like, you know, Mitsuya's dead, I can't believe it. But now he's kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll get to visit her in prison. And so I'm like, oh, Imai. That's, I guess, not a criticism per se, but the one thing that I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on is that like Imai never found out that Rui was taken. And like he never had like a reaction to that, because I thought that they were gonna touch on this idea of like, oh, you know, in idol culture in Japan, like idols can't have boyfriends because the illusion is supposed to be that they are attainable or dateable, like for the guys that are fans of them, right? Like that's supposed to be the whole thing when you think about it. And so I thought that they were going to address that, but they did not address it, right? They didn't address it at all, like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't address the fact that Baba and Rui were dating, and so I'm really surprised at that, right? So once I visit her, even if I don't, I'll decide whether or not I want to continue supporting her, right? And so that's interesting, and so I feel like that, I don't know, there's a lot of potential for an OVA, I guess, you know? Because I just feel like that even though the show is so, like, masterful in how it wrapped most of everything up, there's still a little bit that I feel like they didn't go for, you know? I feel like they could go for it, right? Something like that. And so, yes, and so they give, again, bag of money, and then Odokawa obviously seems to give that money to the boss later on. You could pay off Kikihana's debt. No, I'll make him pay it off himself. I really liked that, right? And so then he says there's a Rui fan meeting to decide what we'll do going forward. And so Odokawa was like, yeah, that reminds me. Again, you know, he's just like, he's been reminded twice now. Oh, I guess I should tell the police, right? And so I feel like that he is going to tell the police, and that plays into Sakura getting into his car later. We'll talk about that. Anyway, and so one use, you mean the Traffic Accident Orphan Foundation? I knew you'd figure it out. And so then they, you know, find out basically who to give the money to. Because Gariki reminds him of what childhood Odokawa wrote in the journal about him being a tapar, right? And then Odokawa was like, oh, I saw a tapar once. It's the guy at the sauna, right? And so Gariki reading the diary is what reminded Odokawa, because I guess Odokawa didn't remember that. It was only as a child that he wrote that down. So I thought that that was interesting, you know? And then we find out that in his house, it's a cat. By the way, not yet though. We don't find that out quite yet. So what's interesting about this is I wonder if any of these characters here are characters that we've seen before. Like, I wonder if this old guy is supposed to be, I guess he's not old, but I wonder if, like, this person's supposed to be Don Ranku, maybe? Because we see everyone else as human except for Don Ranku, I believe. Right? So who knows, you know, like who knows who's who, I guess, because we see, like, obviously we see the bar lady, we'll just call her, we see her as human. Also, this is important for the audio drama continuity, okay? It's reserved for the day. So right now what we are seeing, that is New Year's Day, right? Like that is when the bar is reserved and we hear the audio drama for this episode, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's just important for the continuity and what I think Odokawa did exactly. Anyway, he goes to visit, right, like the boss. And so then He says, confidently speaking to a human like you is a huge step for me. I'm still not comfortable around women though, but like that's everybody. The police haven't arrested you. That's because I have exceptional subordinates, right? So the boss is just, I feel like that's almost sarcastic too, because he has a very angry look on his face. Because I feel like he's like, oh yeah, my subordinates are, you know, like, fuck Yano. Like that's kind of the attitude I feel like he has a little. I'm sure a lot of people suffered because of you, but I'm not here to criticize you for that. That's not my job, and you probably saved more people than that. And see, this is like what I really wanted to see, because I always thought it would have been morally interesting to see Odokawa's reaction to finding out that the guy that like helped him was also a criminal and he was taking down the criminal syndicate like for his justice. But he seemed to be like, listen, okay, like, you know, you probably helped more people than that. But he says, I'm gonna retire, right? And so it seems like the boss is saying, like, listen, like, you don't need to lecture me, and you don't need to feel bad about not lecturing me, because even though I've helped people, I'm retiring from this Yakuza life, okay? Because clearly, like, I fucked it up, right? So I feel like the boss is kind of saying, like, I appreciate your sentiment of saying, that you're not here to criticize me for my Yakuza activity, but actually I will self-admit that my Yakuza activity is wrong. You know, like I feel like that's possible. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like that makes a lot of sense, right? Not only did I fail to save Don-chan's daughter, but my subordinates were involved. Talk about pulling the cart before the horse, right? So I think that basically what he's saying is, I appreciate the sentiment, Odokawa, but I can admit that I fucked up too. Like, despite all the people that I helped, the Yakuza life, like, fucked me up, you know, and fucked up my mission, you could say, right? And so the rule was, don't kill people. And to be fair, they didn't, to be fair, but anyway. And so, yes, then he basically gives the money to the boss and is like, well, you know, you can help out the kids you're currently supporting, even though you are retiring with this money, okay? Maybe invest it. Maybe go into the stock market, okay? You know, like, you don't need to be a Yakuza boss. Invest in some stocks. Get the money for the kids that way. Don't be a crime lord. Anyway, and so then Odokawa says thank you, and he leaves, and we see that the boss finally smiles. He does not look as angry anymore, but I can't show that to you guys because, like, obviously, they're naked. And they're actually human this time, right? So something interesting that I saw people point out on the subreddit was that, like, Odokawa's apartment looks more sharp now. And so when everything turns back human, like, everything goes into a more, like, sharper art style, basically. And so, yes, it was just a cat. Like I said from the very beginning, very happy about that. Yeah, and so see, look at this. So we have this, like, illumination thing, right, on the radio for the Homo sapiens, right? We are pinch hitters. I don't know what, anyway, for the Homo sapiens, right? So it seems like maybe they're, like, helping them out, which could mean that the guy, like, oh gosh, I forget his guy, but we've been calling him Pumbaa. I'm so sorry. It seems like that Pumbaa finally got the fuck over it, you know? Because he said, oh, you know, don't talk, like, good about, like, illumination. There are enemies, right? Like, he says that in a previous episode. But now it seems like they've actually kind of partnered with illumination, or they're letting illumination, you know, work with them and their colleagues, and, like, there's no more bad blood and everything like that, right? You know, I feel like maybe that's it. Can you believe Baba was dating a murderer, right? So everybody knows. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like what we're really missing is Imai's reaction. And even in the audio drama, I don't think he mentions it, right? So forget about that. We're here to produce a proper radio show. So what's interesting here is that Sakura has the pen, right? And so what the implication is that this scene is taking place, therefore, after New Year. Because what happened was, in the audio drama, was that Odokawa, you know, went to the bar with all his friends for New Year's, right? Everyone went home, and then Sakura attacked the bar lady. Whether she's dead or not, we don't really know. And then she retrieved the pen, right? Sakura retrieved the pen from the bar lady because it had gone back to the bar lady, and that's what she had been attacked for, basically, right? And it seems like that basically what happened is that the giraffe guy found the pen because Sakura planted it with the intention to track him. That seems like that's what happened. He went to go deliver it to the bar lady, right? The giraffe guy. And so then she, like, tracked it all the way back to the lady, bonked the lady, took the pen back, and this is post New Year's. And that's actually important because here's my theory, right? Because this is left pretty ambiguous, right? You could think that Sakura got away with it, right? That, you know, like, we don't know if she got arrested, whatever, right? Like, that we don't know that she could, like, continue to go kill people, who knows, right? right? You could say that like it's open-ended, but Odokawa does mention multiple times that he is going to go talk to the police. So what I'm thinking is that he talked to the police and was like, look, I remember this, and that's very important, right? I remember driving this girl to this place, and so she was the one that killed Mitsuya. And the police are like, okay, but we can't arrest her. And so maybe Odokawa was like, okay, but if she wants to kill me because she's afraid I saw something, let's use me as bait. And so I feel like that what gives credence to that theory is the fact that he's just in fuck all nowhere. You know what I mean? I'll show you in a minute, but she's talking to her mom. She got transferred to a bigger agency, so I guess now, instead of wherever she was before managing her, somebody else, like another agency is managing both her and Shiho, right? Yeah, things are going so well, it's almost scary, right? So I feel like that line too, right? Things are going so well, like what usually happens after that? The world comes crashing down. So I feel like that's another sign that we as the audience are supposed to like, you know, kind of imagine, even if it's vague, that she did get arrested, right? Because like, you know, what happens to people that think everything's going well? Not very good, you know, not very good things, right? You can believe whatever you want, by the way, like it's vague for a reason. Like if you want to think like, oh, you know, she got away with it because there's a line earlier that says like, not all evil will be punished, right? Like sometimes like evil will escape punishment, right? That whole like no good deed goes unpunished type thing. Like not everyone who does bad things will get in trouble or get caught, right? You could think that because of that, she didn't get caught and she just continued on. But if she killed the bar lady, like sis, like she has to get caught eventually. She's leaving a trail of corpses, and the audio drama guy published all the evidence online. Like, you know, surely they could like do a voice matching or something, because she talks into the pen and says, you're next. Like that's a threat, you know? And so if they find all of this, you know, I feel like she's done for, you know? At first, I hounded the manager after I failed an audition. Thinking about it now makes me laugh. I was frustrated. If they hadn't become famous after that, I think I would have been content. But when I heard that they'd been releasing their first CD, I couldn't sit still anymore. Oh, okay, I understand it now. So basically what she's saying with these two pieces of dialogue is she's like, yeah, it was fine not to get in when I was like, they're probably not going to be famous. But when she heard that they were releasing their CD, she decided, you know what? This is my chance to be famous with them, right? So she was like, not really all of that motivated to do anything when she just didn't pass the audition, because tons of groups get made but don't go anywhere. But as soon as she saw that Mystery Kiss was going to be successful, that they were releasing the first CD, she couldn't sit still anymore. And we do see her basically strangling her to death, strangling Mitsuya to death, right? Yeah, everything's going well. So again, I feel like that's not, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that, obviously not, that's not good. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to lose someone else. So I feel like she's talking about Rui. Like she didn't expect Rui to get arrested for dumping the body, you know? She didn't think that like that they would lose Rui. They thought that they would rise to the top together, but now she lost Rui and now it's like, oh shit, right? But I get more attention because of that, because Rui is gone, right? Then she says, I'm thinking about losing another and becoming a solo act, and it seems like that she's implying she would like to get rid of Shiho, which is, again, not good. And so then, what? I'm too greedy? No, nothing for now. And so it seems like the mom knows about this, by the way. All I headed out to do was find the taxi I rode in then. So it seems like that's like what she's been doing today, basically. So who knows about nothing for now? I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But I think she's basically saying, no, like, there's nothing that I'm really doing right now. Like, I'm just looking for the taxi that I rode in, and I think I found it, right? It was a total coincidence. I must be lucky after all, right? So again, coincidence, luck, like, no, sis, this is a setup. She's gonna get arrested. At least that's what I hope for. And so then we see the comedians, right? Maybe you could argue this old guy is also Don Ranku, right? Because again, he's the only one that we didn't see. And so it's cool to see them. It's cool to see like the gotcha guy as well. Right? And so then, who's this talking? Don't worry, it'll go well again. So it seems like she's implying, don't worry, I killed someone once, it'll go well again. I'm gonna kill Odokawa very well again. Like, that's what she's saying. Over the end of the year, actually, I'll tell you about that later. Yeah, will you make some fried chicken again for me sometime? So yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about, but anyway. And then we have Tachi, he's like, he's reading foolproof methods for finding a job, right? So maybe he's given up on social media life. I'll go ahead and show him anyway. Like you said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make my dream come true, right? So again, that seems to imply that she's going to murder Odokawa, right? We have Kikihana over here, right? Kikihana, let's get lunch. Like, you know, he's doing, you know, not very pleasant job, but he seems to be happy. We have Dobu in jail. He's just sitting in jail. We have Shiho. Some people think that this girl is, actually, we have Miho, I should say. Some people think that this is Shiho because she's, again, a character that we didn't see. I don't think that that's what she usually wears, though, so it's not really clear. Like, I think that the only people we didn't see were Don Ranku and then Shiho as, like, human, so to speak. Yeah, so see, then we see Odokawa, right? And so I think that's still Mitsuya saying, all right? And then she gets in the car, or not Mitsuya, Sakura, fake Mitsuya, right? And so then she gets into the taxi, where to, and she smiles, and that's basically the end. So what do I think is happening, I guess? Like, where does that leave us? Some people are talking about an OVA where they wrap some of this stuff up, because obviously, like, you know, was Rui ever freed? Did she, like, have to go to jail, like, for her participation in the body stuff? Like, did Sakura kill Odokawa? On that, I'm gonna go ahead and say no, I don't think that she did, right? I don't think that she was successful. I feel like that after the bar lady got attacked, the police are basically, like, honing in on her, or at least I would hope so, right? And I feel like at least, even without, like, the audio drama with, like, the bar lady and the you're next thing, I feel like that Odokawa probably did what he said. He said, oh yeah, I have to tell the police about that. I'm pretty sure he probably would have already, because this is after New Year. And so the scene where we saw him, like, in the hospital was before New Year, right? I don't know how long it was, right? But they're celebrating his recovery. So I feel like, and Daimon is there. Both Daimons are there, right? So I feel like the implication of that could be that he basically told the police, and this is a sting operation, this is a setup, right? Because you can't arrest her for the murder of Mitsuya, right? Because there's not really that much evidence for that at the moment, you know? They could after they interview her and everything, but you know what they could arrest her for? Trying to kill Odokawa. So I feel like Odokawa was basically bait at this point, because I don't think that they would try to be like, oh yeah, Odokawa survived all that only to die because of a little girl. You know, I feel like that instead, Odokawa basically caused this. You know, he basically, like, is doing a sting operation. Because, again, how did she find him? Where even are they? Like, he's just in the woods. You know what I mean? He's just in the woods somewhere. Like, who knows where this is, right? And so maybe also that's why she had a vested interest in planting the tracker on the taxi, like the gotcha guy situation and all of that stuff, because she wanted the tracking as well. So it wasn't just about, like, the phone. Maybe that, like, you know what I mean? Maybe the whole tracker situation, she was tracking him too somehow, and that was, like, the intention. I don't know. But anyway, all of that being said, I think, like, the ending that I imagine is that this is all, like, a sting operation, that he is doing it on purpose, and that he basically set all this up, you know, to catch her, right? And again, I don't want to talk about the audio drama too much, because I already talked about that at the very beginning, obviously. And so we hear that she goes in and, like, whacks the lady for the pen, but now she has the pen. So it's a couple weeks after New Year's. Like, that's enough for a police plot. And so here's what I guess I am hoping. I am hoping that they would do an OVA. I like vagueness sometimes. I like imagining what's possible, but I'd like to know, like, did Rui ever get free? You know, like, what about Imai? Did he ever find out that she was dating Baba and that Rui could not be all his, right? Like, you know, what about the brother? Like, did the brother get arrested, right? Like, there's just a bunch of questions still a little bit, you know? And so I think that it would be interesting if they did one final wrap up, one final OVA, an extra special chapter or something. But I think in general, this series is one of the, like, tightest, most well put together anime that I have ever watched, right? Most of the narrative threads, if not, like, all of them, most of them, I guess, like 99% of them were completed, all came together, everything made sense, the twists were good, like, they were, again, shocked but not surprised. If you were paying attention, you could have, like, guessed them, and I think that that's, like, a good hallmark of, like, a mystery, right? A twist shouldn't come out of nowhere. You should be able to, like, analyze like we've been doing, and that's what made this so rewarding, personally, for me, was the fact that every week we sat down, every week for you guys, for me it's been like almost like every day, right? Like a couple days in a row and everything. But every day I sat down, I looked at the show for an hour, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, we're at, like, you know, 13 hours plus spent on this one show. But then, like, every time I sat down to do something, I was like, oh my god, like, this is rewarding, this paid off, we talked about this before and now it happened, right? Like, it really rewards you for taking the time to look at it analytically, and I can't imagine people would feel the same satisfaction if they just binged through all 13 episodes. Like, you can do that, you know, none of my business, but I would say that it was a much more rewarding experience kind of looking through everything with a fine-tooth comb and really just sitting here and enjoying it, I guess, in that way, and really like giving it the attention that it deserves. And I'm sure I've still even missed stuff, right? Like, who knows what I've missed, you know, just because, like, obviously, like I said, I haven't had any help from the comment section. I've been watching basically in a vacuum. I've only looked at Reddit threads from when the show was airing, like, you know what I mean, like when people didn't know what was happening yet, because obviously there is a manga, but I think the manga is actually behind, right? So there were no manga spoilers or anything, just people speculating from the time that, or the week that the episodes had aired originally, right? So I was very much in a vacuum too, so I may be even missing some stuff, right? And so it'll be interesting for me as I release these videos to see what the comment section said the entire time as well, right? Like, you know, about my guesses or about my theories and stuff, right? Especially the Daimon thing that never happened, you know, like, oh, you know, like this brother, it like thinks he's slick, but what if he's pretending to be the other one? Like, you know, all of that sort of stuff that never happened, right? But I got a lot of stuff right, and I'm very happy about it. I just feel like that this was a rewarding show to watch because it rewarded you for paying attention. Like, it made sure that if you were paying attention and if you, like, you know, were tracking the pen and everything, if you were listening to the audio dramas, that you could make sense of it, right? That you could find out like who the killer was and everything. And so I'm just really happy with the show. I think there's also a lot of, like, you know, very interesting commentary too about society, about, like, you know, growing up, about dreams, about regrets, about life, right? You know, there's definitely a lot to unpack, as we've talked about social media, right? Like being an influencer, in the case of Tachi being a celebrity, a comedian, right? Like all of these things that we've talked about in previous episodes that I've given kind of like my perspective on, as like sometimes I've been like, here's my perspective as a YouTuber, you know, like stuff like that. And so I just feel like this show was just so good on so many levels. This is gonna be like video essays for years to come. Like, people are gonna be like analyzing like Tachi's storyline in ODDTAXI, like how ODDTAXI warns us about social media. I don't know, but like stuff like that. Like, it's gonna be good. It's definitely gonna be good. I'm very much looking forward to now watching other people videos about like the season and everything now that I'm done. So yes, I do vote for an OVA though. I would like to see it. Let me know what you guys think though. Thank you for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court this one final time. Again, I would like to do like video essay type stuff, like about like, you know, I guess just taking like certain parts of the show and then making that into a whole video, like the Imai stuff, let's say idol culture, who knows, right? And so I feel like that could be really fun, and I hope that you guys enjoyed these and will enjoy what's to come. Let me know your thoughts, all of that fun stuff, and I will see you later, everybody. Bye.